I like to play the most.
Baseball opening day was
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
Welcome to In the Spotlight. I'm your host, Neil Ravain, and we have a special guest today. We have Coach J.D. Harris with the Eagles football. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Very good, thank you. And we're going to be talking about his coaching past and his playing past. First question, where are you from, and what made you choose football as a sport to play?
Well, I'm from Waukegan, Illinois, and I can't say that I actually chose football. It's one of those things like it kind of chose you. I grew up with some of our family friends, Roland Harper, who was a fullback for Walter Payton. Grew up playing with his kids and things like that, and just always my parents would take me to Lake Forest College when I was younger, and I would watch the Bears practice and Walter Payton and all those guys. And being in the northern suburbs, it was not a coincidence, but you'll always bump into someone from the Bears or the Bulls, so it was kind of common and just always something I had a passion for.
Okay, and where did you play football in high school?
I went to Waukegan High School, pretty much played with the group of guys that I grew up with. And when I was there, it was funny because I was a quarterback for most of my career at 72 pounds with all my equipment on in 8th grade. And then high school, I was under 100 pounds, still playing quarterback and safety. So.
And where did you play in college?
It's kind of a funny story. I went a year to Northern Illinois and was a wrestler, and really that just wasn't my passion. So I transferred to Lake Forest College to play football, and I played receiver there and was a kick returner. Okay.
And any thoughts about your coaching? What was there any early thoughts that you would be a coach? Yeah, it's actually kind of a neat story. I had a dream when I was 12 and 17 that one day I would be working in the NFL coaching and scouting. And it's funny, I used to have all the kids in the neighborhood because we had a huge yard. And it was about the size of a football field. So I would have the kids in the neighborhood coaching them up playing football. And I was a quarterback, and I ran drills for myself and my brothers and everybody else, throwing the football through a tire, things like that, coaching people on patterns. Just is something I've always done. You've always had a knack for it. And where did you coach before you came here?
I've coached. I first went off into scouting with the Bears, and then with the Cleveland Browns. I was with the Bears for several years and for Browns for seasons. And then while I was scouting, I knew my passion still was to coach. And our staff was let go, and there's two types of people in the NFL, those who have been fired and those who will be fired. And so we all got canned, and I actually went back to my hometown, which was one of my dreams, to go back and coach the people from my area. And so I spent 2 seasons at Waukegan High School. I coached at UW-Platteville, Luther College, and Trinity International, where I was a offensive coordinator, and here. So.
All right, thank you. And we're going to take a short break, and we will be back with you shortly.
Make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill.
Welcome back to In the Spotlight. I'm your host, Neil Ravain, and we're talking with Coach Harris about his previous past with coaching and playing. And now we're going to talk about his coaching here at Benedictine. And what was your decision to come here to Benedictine and with the good schools that you came from?
Well, it was kind of weird. I actually was interviewing at the same time to take a position to go back into scouting for Bledsoe, which is a conglomerate of 11 teams in the NFL. And I always told people, and I was always taught, to go after your passion. And So it was Father's Day actually of 2007, and I was really toiling on what I wanted to do. And during the course of the interview with Bledsoe, the gentleman asked me, which do you prefer more, better? Would you rather coach, or do you like scouting better? And I'm a guy that's pretty straightforward, and so I had to really think about it, and I was like, well, I like coaching because, first of all, I get to coach, and technically I get to kind of scout. And so I actually came home that night and was still trying to make a decision on which direction to go, and turned on an NFL Network, and Tony Dungy was talking about why he coached, and it was some of the same principles that I believed in. And so I turned off the TV, and that my decision was made. So.
Okay. And what kind of coaching mentality and ability do you bring here?
That's an interesting question. I would have to say what I like to bring here is integrity, hard work, and a sense of family. I believe that people build programs, and programs not building people. And so that's what I bring, family atmosphere, I think.
Okay. And now that you've came to a rebuilding program here, what other aspects, like offensive-wise, like plays and coaching, what do you bring, and what do you see in the future?
Well, prior to coming here, the offenses that I've been a part of have been in the top 10, typically top 5 in the nation, whether it's been receivers, quarterbacks, and things of that nature. And so what I try to do coming in, helping with the passing game, is do some wide open sets and spreading the ball around, ball controlled, easy pitch and catch situations for us, screens, things like that, to attack different areas of the field.
Okay. And this style of offense is very effective, and in like the next 5 to 10 years, where do you see Benedictine going, and do you see any All-American receivers coming out?
Right now, I really feel that, I believe we have some guys in our program right now, Brandon Austin, very similar to a guy I just coached the season prior to this, who caught 89 passes for 1,067 yards, made the Division III Aztec Bowl. In fact, I felt like Brandon is a better all-around receiver than the previous person. So he's a guy that I see that has the potential to reach national attention for being All-American or Aztec Bowl receiver.
All right, and thank you for your time today. That's In the Spotlight with Neil Irvain and Coach Harris.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us all better.